Their profits comes from not paying you. So the purpose is not protection, but purpose is to earn profit out of those situations, and that creates a conflict of interest. This is different from trade. In trade, if you look at, it happens only when both the parties are satisfied. I am giving something and you are giving something, and you are giving something which is less important than what you are getting, and I am giving something which is less important than what I am getting. So in trade both parties are satisfied. In gambling, only one party is satisfied, other party is just playing to the situations. That is what is happening in insurance business, and therefore that is also a problem. In capital market, if you look at, I am just trying to analyze the whole three financial pillars from Sharia point of view, giving you an idea of what is happening and then how it is problematic from Sharia point of view. If you look at capital market, here equity is good, because equity, when you issue equity or when you take equity, you are becoming partner, like a partner in the business. But if underlying business is not compliant, then obviously you are becoming, we will be becoming partner in something which is harmful to society. So what Quran says, ta'awanu alal birri wat taqwa wala ta'awanu alal ismi wal udwan. So don't cooperate. When we are becoming partner, we are cooperating. So we have to make sure that we do not partner in something which is harmful for society. We do not encourage something through our effort or through our contribution which is harmful for society. So in capital market, lot of things are positive, but there is still certain activity which is not identified today as Sharia screening, after which we make sure that the investment we are making is in the right businesses for the good of the society, and to that extent we can participate. So if you look at current financial system, it is designed in such a way that mostly it disconnects real economic activity. If you look at Islamic financial system or Islamically required financial system, then it actually connects financial system to the real economy, so that everyone can benefit. Those who contribute and those who seek, they both can contribute by sharing the risk and by sharing the reward. That is the philosophy of Islamic financial system. What name is not an issue. In different countries, Islamic finance is identified by different name, so name is definitely not an issue. Even Saudi Arabia doesn't allow word Islamic to be used for any bank. Even Turkey doesn't allow word Islamic to be used. So in our country, word is interest free is used, although it is not comprehensive as we would like to, but it is okay for us as long as it creates an environment that supports the real concern of Sharia, that is connecting real economy and generating profit from real economic activity rather than it just generating profit through accounting thing. Now just this point was mentioned. The result of this is, if the real business and financial business are not connected from each other, then the real impact will be this one. If you look at, this is richest 1%, how their wealth is growing. Richest 1% is having more than 50% wealth, only 1% population, and how 90% people wealth has been declining over a year, not only long back, only in 5 years if you look at. So in last 5 years, how 99% people have been losing money and how 1% people have been gaining money over a period. How this shift has been happening at a very faster rate. Couple of years ago, there were people who could accommodate in one aeroplane, that is 388, they had how much wealth? Half of the wealth of the world, right? Now only 62 people have half of the wealth of the world. 62 not families, 62 individuals have half of the wealth of the world. So that is leading, because when you can transfer money by, a rich person, once he goes to sleep, his money keeps multiplying. By the time Bill Gates wakes up in the morning, his wealth is many times more than what he had, or his wealth has grown up because of the system, because of other things that is supportive of this kind of transfer of wealth from one segment of society to another. Nothing against any individual, but the system itself is such that it creates imbalance in the society in this form. So right from 2010, when 388 people had half of the wealth, 2014 80, and 2016 it is 62 people have half of the wealth of the world. That is because of disconnection between real and financial economy. Financial economy keeps growing, real economy does not. When you sleep, real economy sleep. When you wake up, you start working, and that is. But financial economy never. So that leads to imbalance and financial crisis in the financial world. Coming back to quickly on India, this is how the financial system of India is regulated actually. So Parliament is supreme, and then Ministry of Finance, and then there is a coordinating agency, and then out for 3 financial pillars that we have. Reserve Bank of India controls financial system by and large, which includes banking and non-banking, And then Securities and Exchange Board of India regulates Indian capital market, that includes wealth management, that includes alternative finance, that includes stock exchanges and all kinds of capital market activities. And then we have insurance sector that is regulated by IRDA. In addition, we have couple of other regulators also, but I do not want to mention them because these are the fringe regulators like pension fund, like housing bank, or like microfinance, etc., etc. But these are by and large 3 major regulators who regulate Indian financial system. Whatever financing activities we do, in whatever form, it will have to be regulated by either of these 3. Now AICL was mentioned, it was coming here. Banking system, there is no Islamic because Reserve Bank has not allowed. Capital market, there are many Sharia compliant products available. Both the stock exchanges in India, especially Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange, have Sharia indices. At least half a dozen Sharia indexes are available in India. Mostly people from Middle East, they trade in those. And in insurance sector, although Islamic insurance has not been allowed today, but government of India, central government is doing business, and that is close to 650 crore worth business in India. So even at this moment when Islamic finance is not so popular, I will say that more than 1,000 crore business is already there in capital market and insurance sector. Now if you look at the Islamic finance, how it has grown up in India, this is a slide. How much time I have? Few minutes, 4 minutes. I'll finish inshallah. So this is about the whole development of Islamic finance. I have tried to create right from 1920s to 2010 onwards, and then this is the kind of activity, academic activity, not-for-profit activity, and for-profit activity by Muslims, and for-profit activities by mainstream players, professional players. So if you look at all kinds of activities here, Islamic finance discussions started somewhere in 1920s, first book was somewhere in 1930s, first banking model was mid 1950s, and then not-for-profit activities started somewhere in the form of Muslim funds, in the form of cooperative society, in the form of various other kinds of financial institutions. And it was only in 1980s when first time Islamic finance profit-seeking business was started in India, and that was by community itself. And later on in 90s, we see the entry of mainstream players coming to Islamic finance business, right from in the form of Tata Core Sector Equity Fund. Today we have many, Tata, Reliance, UTI, all those things are there. And then these are the profit-seeking businesses, and then Islamic finance courses are being taught. So academic activities, now we have Islamic finance courses. Not-for-profit activities, we have many Islamic finance cooperative societies, we have many Islamic finance other models available. Rehbar is one of them. Rehbar will come here somewhere. So it is a professional body owned by a community, but seeking to connect savers with the real economic activity agent or the entrepreneurs. So in a nutshell, this is about Islamic finance history in India. This is some of the more important development over the year, right from 2005 to 2015. Abdul Raqib Sahib is there. He will speak about those developments, how it all has developed. But right from 2005, when the first RBI committee was established on Islamic banking, till 2015, when after the effort of lot of serious effort and work done by Abdul Raqib Sahib, RBI has finally come to a stage where it has recommended introduction of interest-free banking. So right from 2005, when he said that it is not possible, to till 2015 when it has recommended. So this is a big development that has happened through the effort of none other than Abdul Raqib Sahib. May Allah bless him. May Allah accept his effort for this word, and may Allah keep his reward in the life hereafter. Now, if you look at, yes, I think I'm on the last, just a minute or two. This is about Islamic finance possibilities in India. So if you look at RBI, two things: no, non-bank, yes, and AICL was there. There was a problem, not in AICL, but problem was in RBI. But finally, AICL had to pay the price because the regulated had to pay the price. Regulator cannot. That is a unfortunate situation. But chairman somehow is crawling and keeping itself survived. That itself is a big achievement at the moment, I believe. And then insurance, it is not possible, but GIC Re is doing reinsurance, which is Islamic. Mutual fund, we have Tata and Taurus. We have many portfolio management scheme. We have many Sharia indices. We have many venture capital fund, especially Secura has got two completed, and I think they are going ahead with the third Islamic venture capital kind of activities, which is all regulated, businesses are concerned. This is perhaps is my last or something. This is short analysis of Islamic finance. Strengths are large economy, strong manufacturing base. As we say that Islamic finance is all about real business. So Indian economy is really one of the fastest growing big economy of the world. So there is a lot of potential for Islamic finance in this. Highest number of Sharia compliant investment options. If you take all the countries of Middle East and Pakistan put together, they all combined together do not provide the option that India alone provides as far as Islamic investment is concerned. So it is this is a strength. A strong human resource base. If you look at top intellectuals in Islamic finance, you will see them having roots in India, just like our brother in Malaysia, but he has his roots. Some of the topmost banks in Middle East and elsewhere are managed by Indians. So we still have, alhamdulillah, a strong human base. Weakness is regulatory uncertainties, because sometimes RBI says it is allowed, sometimes it says it is not possible, and there are other in between two extreme. There are other situations also that is weakness. Financial business is not doing well, as we all know that our banks are still facing a lot of problem. That is the issue. Human capital not yet ready, because the education system is such that we start working when we see employment and business opportunities. So that is the weakness. Opportunities is the biggest potential market, one of the largest fast growing world economy, and immense untapped human potential. This is the opportunities. If you look at threat, Islamic finance somehow, because of some products which is mentioned by our learned speaker before me, that it is losing its intellectual appeal. There was a time when some of the best intellectuals will favor Islamic finance, but during the practices we have realized that Islamic finance has gone to some extent where it has lost its sheen in the sense of intellectual attractiveness. It has come up with some products which are highly abhorrible or highly disliked. So that is the threat we have to cover. We have to save ourselves from. Employment opportunities have stagnated, and falling energy prices have also impacted the growth of Islamic finance in Middle East. So these are the short analysis of Islamic finance. This is my last. Yes. So sustainable efforts are needed to fit Islamic finance into the mainstream. That is one we need to work on. Capitalize on government support for all those micro, small, and making India financial inclusion. There are many government schemes which are actually fitting in very well with Islamic finance vision, but we have to connect it. We have to learn to connect those things, those dots, without being prejudiced. I think that will work better than what we have been doing till now. Organize, support, and support community initiatives. This is very important. We have seen, AICL was working for 10 years. What profit? 3%, 4%, but they were so much committed professionals that they continued doing, said, no, don't care about profit. Let us continue their business. But suddenly it faced problem because of certain other issues which had nothing to do with this. This company was working for 10 years, but somehow when it was banned by RBI for not charging interest, the only company in the world which is banned by regulator for not charging interest, is very interesting case, and the hardly community is aware how much support we could provide to them. Hardly anyone. Do we know that the company has gone to the court and RBI lawyer is not turning up? We have not been supportive. We have not been helping them to take this matter. If there is no fraud, if there is no violation of rule of law, if there is no regulation, how could you ban it? But we have not been, because this is not a political issue. This is not. We don't feel ourselves attached to these. There are initiatives like Rehbar here. What are they doing? They are trying to connect those who have savings with those who want to develop their business. Now, many of our people do not go to bank because of interest, and they prefer to remain a smaller player. But now with this, they can think of growing big. They can think of multiplying their project. They can think of doing much business at much larger scale than what they have been doing. So we need to support initiatives. We need to support our youngsters who have been, thrown their career prospects behind and come forward to help. Rehbar is headed by someone who is from IIT. He could have gone in the mainstream, earned millions, but he is spending his time here. So we need to support those kind of community initiative where professionals are joining together to help not only the entrepreneurs but also help savers generate savings which are Sharia compliant. So we need to support those initiatives. Those initiatives may come from educational field. Those initiatives may come from financial field. Those initiatives may come from human resource field. So I think we need to support this, without which Islamic finance cannot be hoped to grow. Involve madrasa graduate. Madrasa students are left out. We have to go and teach them about financial basics. We have to make them learn financial audit, Sharia audit, all those kind of things. Their employment opportunities will increase. Their connectivity with the mainstream businesses will increase. Their understanding of real life problem will increase, and that will lead to better fatwas also. Sometimes when they are disconnected, they can say anything and then they stand by it, and that creates further confusion in the society. So all those things are there. And then engage with regulators and policy makers. This is very important work. Abdul Raqib sahab, mashallah, we have, may Allah give him health and long life. He has been engaging throughout his life. He can go, even if he hears that a clerk is having friendship with someone, a good officer, he will go and pamper him, and he will go and make friendship with him. That is how he is trying to engage with regulator, because their involvement is also very important. Sometimes he reaches out to them. By having him, they see that Islamic finance has come. So because of his character, because of his perseverance, a lot of things are turning towards positive, and that is what we should be doing. Thank you very much. I think I have taken much of your time. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair. More than the time, you have opened up a lot of our, the positive points, as well as a lot of our areas where we have been ignorant. Truly, because even I have been spending some time, but I didn't know that there was so much of activity happening around us. So I think that's the biggest message what Dr. Shariq has shared with us. We have every responsibility to know what is happening, to be part of it in whatever best form possible. The best amongst everything, you start with the prayer, but then being involved ourselves. Because I read a news, though it is on the light humor, but it is something that makes us think about the status of our community. Though it happened in Bangalore, but there was a nikah that got cancelled just because there were difference of opinion in who's going to make the biryani, and that was a news. Very unfortunate, but that's the state of affairs of our. I wouldn't say only within our community, but at least we are known for that. But there are a lot of other things that we need to really worry about, and where we are deprived of. And we are deprived because we are not asking. We are only asking about things that are of immediate requirement to us, or we are carried away by everybody asking something, and we also want to ask the same thing. So these are very serious areas where we need to first involve ourselves with the prayer, and inshallah to the best possible, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Shariq sahab. Now I request Brother Abdul Raheem sahab, who is a chartered accountant by profession. He is also the founder of the AICL company that Dr. Shariq was just mentioning. He is also the CFO of KIMS Hospital in Cochin. I request Brother Abdul Raheem sahab.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Respected host Ismail Said Sahib, my friend Mudassar, rest of the dignitaries, brothers and sisters. First of all, I didn't bring any presentation. I was asked to talk about the relevance of Rehbar in the present time. So I will have few things to say. Maybe 15 minutes I will take from you, and maybe we need more interactions than speeches. I think we should thank Dr. Shariq sir for giving us a very exhaustive view of the present scenario in the Islamic finance in India. I want to thank the Rehbar consultants for giving me an opportunity to come and address you, and I consider myself fortunate to have this opportunity. I was very pleased to see Raqib Sahib here. I've been working with him for the last maybe 15 years on this. I am also equally fortunate to be associated with. Yeah, I'm okay. I have all these disadvantages being too tall, all the places. I've been very fortunate to have associated with the Islamic finance movement in India. The name of AICL was mentioned here. I don't know for some of you what is AICL. There's a story behind those words. AICL is Alternative Investment and Credit Limited. back in 1999, if I remember the year correct, there was a campaign by Jamaat Islami in Kerala against interest for a month campaign. As a culmination of that campaign, some of us, under the leadership of Professor Siddiq Hasan Saab, decided to form, instead of talking and writing only on Islamic finances, a few of us got together and said that it's not enough that we write about it, we should do about it something in practice. So we thought about how there was no Islamic banking discussed anywhere those times in India. It was only confined to probably some of the GCC countries and maybe Malaysia. Then the question of Islamic, the BJP was not in power, it was very much Congress in the power. The question of naming came, then some people was passionate and said that we should say Islamic. But some of us said that we should have a neutral name. That's how we said that we name it an alternative system. Honestly speaking, this is a big mistake. We call it ourselves a new. Islamic was the first prevalent economic system in the world. The modern system came only in 400 years back. Only 400 years back. So don't think that we are doing something bid'ah, but it's actually the modern banking is a bid'ah. I want you to know that if you look at the history of banking and finance, and there are scholars here, you'll find out that. When we started working on this, I'm coming to the relevance of Rehbar. I'm giving a little bit history. That's probably help us to understand. When you talk about formation of AICL, we want to really know what is the scope of doing it, how many people are aware of it, people talk about it in Rehbar, and how many people are really practicing it. We did a survey in 3 districts in Kerala where Muslims are predominant: Malappuram, Calicut, and Trichur. And we realized that there are about 250 crores rupees with the nationalized bank kept there as deposit with a request that please don't give me interest. I'm talking about 1999, maybe 2000 early, if I don't know exactly now, it's almost 15 years back. 250 crores rupees deposited in nationalized banks with a request that please don't give me interest. Then some of these unscrupulous managers were using this money, and that also came out later on. There was several cases, I don't know if people are aware of it. These bank managers were using money and they were taking interest and taking home or giving to somebody else they want. That was the condition. So we definitely said, definitely there is a scope, and people came back and told us that you please do something about it. I'm just cutting the long story short. After a lot of discussions and different forms of doing it, we finally decided to an NBFC. We went and talked to a few people, and we decided that this is again, we don't want to be for big people. A lot of big businessmen wanted to invest crores and crores. We said no. We said there should be a avenue for using the savings of smaller people. So that time, we limited the maximum investment by any individual is 5 lakhs only. So we were able to gather about 7, 8 crores rupees within 3 months' time. With people, smaller amount. I think smallest we kept was 50,000, the highest was 5 lakhs. We don't want it to be cornered by big people. So we were about 300, if I remember right, we were 300 people now, I think, shareholders now. We did very well. I was the founding, alhamdulillah, I was thankful to the people and grateful to the God. I was the founder managing director. I stayed that founder managing director for 4 years. We did very well. We did it very transparently. About 6 to 7% dividend we paid, and I asked Dr. Shariq Saab said people who had invested the money, they were not greedy. So we did it very well for first 4 years. A lot of people wanted to bring more money. We said no. We need to learn and understand how we can take it, how different we can make it. So we just went it slow. Anyway, so we realized that there are people not only have savings who want to put their money, but there are at the same time people, other side, businessmen who want to take money. They cannot do their business they want to. They cannot progress. They cannot enlarge their business because they don't want to go to the bank. So we were able to get a lot of good investments also. I mean, the needy people also. So we were able to match it, and that's how it came. And I think it worked well for about 6, 7 years, 8 years. And we had 4 RBI inspections thorough. We were targeted. We are 4 no RBI doesn't do every day, every year that kind of a thorough inspection. We had 4 of them. We got an A+ certificate from all the inspectors, were all non-Muslims. So everything was going well until our friend Subramanya Swamy went to the court, and the rest of the story, you know that. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a good scope for a facilitator like our Rehbar, and that is what we should do now. I have a couple of suggestions to here. One is this has to be, the Rehbar has to be concentrating, as we did, and probably some of you will disagree, we should concentrate on smaller people. See, now, again, we are talking about disparity and accumulation of wealth, and not only wealth. If you look at the statistics of banking credit, 85% of the banking credit is enjoyed by about 15% of the businessmen. You know, this is a shame. It's a crime. 85% of the banking credit, not only in India, all over the world, is enjoyed by about 15% of the businessmen. So smaller people doesn't get money from the bank. So Rehbar, in my opinion, first the relevance is there if they can support smaller people, small traders, small manufacturers, small servicemen, whatever, you know, the craftsmen. That will be great service we can do to the community. And you know, the venture capital is something, as I said, from the time memorial. Some presenter in one of the Islamic banking presentation I went in Turkey, jokingly or probably rightly said, the first venture capital was in the world was between Prophet Muhammad and Khadija radiallahu anha. Khadija was the rich woman, business woman in Mecca. Prophet Muhammad, before he became prophet, used to take money from her and do for trading caravan and bring her goods back, sell it, and give her a portion of the profit. So it's venture capital and partnership, Mudaraba. Now I think this is called Mudaraba now. This is not now, it has been there from time immemorial. Probably somebody was also joking, the second one happened only after Columbus went to discover America. The Queen of Greece, he wanted some money for the sale. He went to the Queen of Greece. Columbus is a Greek person, some of you were knowing. And the Queen of Greece gave her money and said that whatever you earn from your travel, your journey, bring me 50% of it. But Columbus never came back because we discovered, I mean, he stayed there for long and didn't do any business. He discovered America in that journey. So this is something has been happening, not only in practice, but in theory also. And we talked about publications. Adam Smith wrote the Wealth of Nations, which is Magna Carta of the modern economics, only in 18th century. Whereas books on finance, not Islamic, I don't want to use the Islamic, finance, expenditure, agriculture finance, state finance were written in 14th century and 13th century by scholars. Big books, volumes, and translated to world languages are kept in international libraries. And it's still available in some of the libraries in UK and France. So it's not that we are new, Islamic is new, and the modern finance is old. No. In fact, as somebody mentioned, all the banking industry started after the post-industrial revolution. There was no cash available, and when the steel mills and the mining industries were started, so naturally somebody wanted cash, and people who had cash, like the feudals and the large traders, they started lending money. Then the community wanted to regulate it because there was exploitation. You know, Bank of England, therefore, was set up in 1739. I don't remember exactly some of those in the 17th, middle of 17th. The Archbishop of Canterbury, then wrote to the King of England that time, Louis VI or something, with a strong objection of institutionalizing interest. You know, Christianity and Bible prohibits interest. That's why the Archbishop of Canterbury wrote to the king, by establishing the Central Bank of England, you are working against the spirit of Christianity and teachings of Bible. Then the king and the then Prime Minister wrote back a letter of comfort to the king, to the Archbishop, saying that we are trying to fix the maximum interest to 1%, and we'll make sure that the state will not allow anybody to charge more than 1% interest. Look at the fund. So this has been the